Welcome to the Week 12 early game halftime with Harmon stream. I am Matt Harmon, and we are having a lot of fun here in Week 12. We're getting a lot of crazy stuff happening. I'm seeing just as we go live right now. I think we've got a John Ross touchdown, which is a lot of fun here. The Bengals right now, actually, let's talk about these Cincinnati Bengals because they're kind of getting their butts whooped by the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, 3 passing touchdowns last time I checked in the first half. And I know they are up, I think, 28-0 on the Bengals. Well, if they got that John Ross touchdown, no, yeah. So it's 28-6 right now. I'm going to pull up that game because it's really fascinating. We're seeing the Cleveland Browns really come out strong under new offensive coordinator Randy Finkner. They've been great so far in the first half. Nick Chubb has a rushing touchdown. Baker Mayfield has 3 passing touchdowns, as I mentioned. And this Browns offense, just let's dive into them right now because, of course, we've got the rumors this morning that Bruce Arians, the only job that he would consider coming back for is the Cleveland Browns head coaching job, which congratulations, Cleveland Browns, on the fact that at least your job is so coveted that one of my favorite head coaches in the NFL, Bruce Arians, the only job he'd consider coming back for, is this Cleveland Browns job. You normally see like the Jets, they're like a hot team that like people always talk about them as an intriguing job opening. He's not like, oh, let me come back for this New York job. No, he wants to come back for the Cleveland Browns job, and I'm sure it's because he believes in quarterback Baker Mayfield. We got a comment from Facebook. He said that one of our users said that they started Winston over Mayfield, and he's SMFH. I'm sure you know what that means. He's shaking his head with a little extra oomph, if you catch my drift, with the F there. I think this Browns offense is really intriguing. Baker Mayfield, 11.7 yards per attempt in the first half. He's really getting the ball downfield, which is something that we've seen more and more become an emphasis now that Randy Finkner has been the offensive, or Freddie Kitchens is the offensive coordinator now, who of course is a Bruce Arians disciple, was the running backs coach. And let's talk about running backs here because Nick Chubb has 14 carries for 31 yards and a rushing touchdown, and he's been more involved through the air. 3 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. You gotta love it. You gotta love it because Nick Chubb is a multi-threat back. There's been a lot of talk in the fantasy industry is Nick Chubb is the positive game script back and Duke Johnson is the negative game script back. Both of these backs can do a little bit of both. While obviously Nick Chubb is the better early down runner and Duke Johnson is the superior route runner and receiver, Nick Chubb's not some kind of dud in the pass game. He is somebody who is a strong threat as a receiver. He can make plays in the open field. We got a question from our Twitch stream. Grim Shifter asked us, thank you for jumping in the chat on Twitch. Make sure you subscribe and jump into our YouTube channel. Which one should I sit in standard scoring? Phillip Lindsay, Dalvin Cook, or James Conner? So bear with me here, Grim. But I think you should sit Phillip Lindsay, and I think you should play Dalvin Cook. Look, James Conner's the must start every single week. Never doubt James Conner. He's got a great floor. He's got a great ceiling in this offense. I know they're on the road in Denver. Not the greatest spot for the Pittsburgh offense, but I do think you can play James Conner with complete confidence. And I've got a lot of confidence in Dalvin Cook. Look, the results were about as bad as it can get. About as bad as it can get for Dalvin Cook last week against the Chicago Bears. But remember, Grim and all of you others out there, that this Bears defense is the best run defense in the NFL, pretty much bar none. Obviously, they got ripped up by LeGarrette Blount on Thanksgiving, but coming into that matchup, they were statistically the best run defense in the NFL. The usage was all there for Dalvin Cook. He dominated the touch share in the backfield. He played over 60% of the snaps. I think this is a game here against the Packers where we see him really get going. The Packers have given up 10 rushing touchdowns on the year. They've given up over 4 yards per carry. I think you can use Cook with confidence. So I'm going to go Cook over Lindsay in that one. Check it out. Appreciate you jumping in on the Twitch chat with just Harmon and the little face. That's cute. I'm going to go for a question here from Facebook. Isaiah Gonzalez asked, do you think Adams will get it going against the Giants? Obviously, we saw – let's jump over to that game right now because that's been actually a fascinating one to watch. The New York Giants were really taking it to the Super Bowl championship Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, come on, Philadelphia, what the hell are you doing? I'm sick of this Eagles. Like, this is the game. They got to get it going. And I mean, I've said it. I've written about it too. Every week is the game they've got to get it going, and they don't do it. I think they've got to wake up here in the second half. Look, they're getting ripped up. Saquon Barkley right now, 9 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown. Eli Manning did throw an interception just here before we jumped on, but he's otherwise been doing really well against this Eagles defense, which admittedly is down heavily in the secondary. You know, they're missing Sidney Jones, Ronald Darby. Rodney McLeod has been out for weeks now. This is a really, really dismantled Philadelphia back end on their defense, but nevertheless, they've got to step up. This is a beat-up team, but they've got to step up and get this one going here, man, because it's do or die time. If the Eagles lose this game, I mean, how can you have any confidence in them challenging the Dallas Cowboys or Washington for the NFC title? But your question, of course, was about Josh Adams. So let's focus in on Josh Adams. Corey Clement's actually had the same amount of carries so far, 37 yards, and that's a little disappointing to see. We expected more from Josh Adams, who really did well in a negative game script against the Saints last week. You know, I was down there in New Orleans, and that was a fun game to watch. But I expect Josh Adams. The problem is, if the Eagles are going to be trailing in this game throughout, they're probably not going to play Josh Adams as much as guys, you know, like Corey Clement, who are superior pass catchers, so you do have to worry about that. But I think you'd be a little more confident that we're going to see something better from him going forward. I got to address this question here from someone from Twitter. Lamar is choking, SMH. Definitely shocking to see him not play as well against the Oakland Raiders defense, but remember, he is a rookie. Let's jump over to that game and talk about it real quick because we are seeing the Ravens 13-10 over the Oakland Raiders. Of course, Lamar Jackson has the 2 interceptions, but they have let him throw more, which, frankly, that's what you want to see. You don't want to see him just be a running quarterback. He has 2 carries for 11 yards, not really what you expected. He is opening things up for Gus Edwards. 8 carries for 53 yards for Edwards, who is paying off that sleeper value so far. I think you can expect good things from him in the second half. But I think Lamar Jackson will get it going, and the fact that they've let him throw 18 passes is a good sign. He's had a couple of nice little throws, but of course, remember, he is a rookie. Got a lot of other questions to address. You guys are talkative today, which is good. Please, this show is about you. It's about interacting with us. Halftime with Harmon is also halftime with you guys. So thanks for chiming in. On all the platforms, Twitch, especially Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, we take all your comments. We take everything. We got a great question from Josh Morgan. I cut Njoku and picked up Uzoma. Actually, that's not really a question. That's just you mourning, which I agree. I liked Njoku this week. I played him in a lot of spots. Played him in some DFS lineups, so good for me, bad for you. Sorry about it. Another great question. What is your favorite Nicolas Cage movie? It's Vampire's Kiss. Easy. If you can watch Vampire's Kiss and not just... Like, the crazy thing about that movie, and I'm getting off on a little tangent here, but this is my show, remember, Halftime with Harmon, so I'm going to do it. And you asked, so you set me up for this. Nick Cage, watching Vampire's Kiss, like, you constantly think, it can't get any crazier. But guess what? It does get crazier. So do yourself a favor on this holiday season. After the games are over tonight, if you don't live on the crappy East Coast, sorry about it, but it's great out here on the West Coast. The games are over. You can still do stuff at night, unless you're like me and you got to write. You know, you can definitely pop in Vampire's Kiss. Do that tonight. It's a lot of fun. That's my favorite Nick Cage movie. We've got a question from someone named Arjuna. Never heard of him. Too early for Christmas decorations. I can't really be a stickler about this, you know, after Thanksgiving. I put up some Christmas lights on my balcony this weekend. The good news is they can go from colored lights to white lights. So I can be like, I've got the white lights on. It's just for decoration, like normal decoration. But it's a little too early. I still say it's too early. I still say it's a little too early, but I can't really be a hard ass about it right now here on, you know, after Thanksgiving. So I say it's a little too early, but you do you. Where's Charlie? That's a great question. Chuck should be here. He's at home right now. He's very hard to get into these sort of broadcasts. He's a difficult guy to get. His agent is tough to negotiate with. We'll see. Maybe someday Charlie is going to be on Halftime with Harmon. We can only hope. Cross our fingers. Dumping back to another question about Nick Chubb. Is he an elite running back 1? I think he is a running back 1 the rest of the way. The question is, how early would you draft him next year, hypothetically? Just say, they do get a strong offensive mind as the coach, whether it's a Bruce Arians or, a John DeFilippo, one of these guys. Maybe somebody from the college ranks, Lincoln Riley. Cliff Kingsbury is an interesting guy who got canned from Texas Tech, but does have a real innovative scheme. Of course, was the coach for Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs. If we see an innovative offensive mind like that get hired in Cleveland, maybe they keep Greg Williams around as the defensive coordinator. I think you look at Nick Chubb as a guy who's going to be like a first-round fantasy pick next year. It's interesting to wonder. It's interesting to think about. Todd from Facebook wants to know if he should start Melvin Gordon over Eckler. Risky. It's risky for sure. For sure, it is definitely a risky thing with Melvin Gordon. Feet to the fire here. I'm going to tell you to start Melvin Gordon if he is starting. I don't feel great about it. If you had another option that wasn't Austin Eckler, I think I'd go for it. One of my friends, not to just drop a name here, one of my friends asked if he should, Amos Lee, the singer, asked if he should start Melvin Gordon, or I think it was, I can't even, I really butchered this name drop because I can't remember who he asked me to play. But anyways, I told him to start the other guy other than Melvin Gordon, but it was somebody a little bit higher up. Oh, it was Dalvin Cook or Melvin Gordon. I said to start Dalvin Cook over Melvin Gordon. We got a couple questions from Twitch here. Max and Joey Run asked, Jared Cook and Trey Burton are dumpster fires. Do I pick up Tyler Higbee instead? No, I don't think so. Tyler Higbee, he's not the big play tight end in that Rams offense. That's Gerald Everett, who we saw score a pair of touchdowns on that epic Monday night game. If you did not like that Monday night game, just stop watching my show. I don't even want you as a part of my audience. And I think the producers back there are going to kill me for saying that. But anyways, we don't want the haters. We don't want the haters. We don't want the high-scoring haters. But I think you could play these guys like Trey Burton and Jared Cook over somebody like Tyler Higbee because the touchdown or the target projection is just not that high. So that's a problem. But I think that these are all streamers. Max and Joey Run, thank you for liking that Monday night game. You can stay. You can subscribe to this Twitch channel, whichever platform you want to watch from. Thanks a ton. Do I think the Jags defense will score a touchdown from Jared Quay? I'm not sure. Never. It's a tough name to read there. But Jared wants to know, do I think the Jags defense will score a touchdown? I think the Jags defense is kind of getting it put on them, bro. What's up with that? Josh Allen flinging touchdown bombs. I tweeted, I'm going to bring up this GIF that I tweeted from the Yahoo Fantasy handle earlier, if I can type on my little thing. What a great show that you get to look at tweets. I tweeted this from the Yahoo Fantasy handle. How do you work this website? Twitter, Yahoo Fantasy Sports. As we all know, Jalen Ramsey he said in that GQ article before the season that Josh Allen was trash. Well, I think Jalen Ramsey's looking at the Jaguars saying, you're the trash now, buddy. This was a great situation where I think we've seen Josh Allen, play better than expected. And where are the Jaguars, man? They're obviously, they've made this game a lot closer. Let's actually jump over to that game right now and talk about it before we jump out of here. It's tied 14-14 at halftime. Blake Bortles has been outplayed by Josh Allen. Josh Allen has made plays. Blake Bortles has not. Leonard Fournette is, of course, putting the team on his back. 13 carries for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. I would say that we continue to see Blake Bortles struggle. Josh Allen looks like he's playing well against this defense so far. It's not perfect football. He only has completed 50% of his passes, but that great long touchdown throw was epic. I do not think the Jaguars will finish the season 9-7, Mr. Quay, if that's how you pronounce your name. Anyways, I think that we've got a lot of action to look forward to here as these games go on. I am going to be paying attention to the Panthers game. Of course, they are up 16-10 right now over the Seattle Seahawks. So that's a game I'm going to be closely drawing in on, that I'll be closely watching. We saw Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore playing really well with Devin Funchess out. I hope we continue to see those two make plays for the Carolina Panthers. Both guys you should add on your fantasy rosters. Curtis Samuel, of course, probably less owned than DJ Moore. Moore has been a popular pickup throughout the season, but I think Curtis Samuel's a guy that you need to look at. I added him on a roster in a deep league. I think you should too. Guy is a legit playmaker, better route runner than he gets credit for as a guy who's like a part-time player at Ohio State. But that is going to do it for Halftime with Harmon here on the early games of Week 12. Keep an eye on some of these things we discussed in the second half, and make sure you come back for the late game stream at 6 p.m. Eastern,
makes
3
them
p.m.
fumble
here
more
on the Best Coast.
It makes them think
Come
about
back
it
to
too
the
much,
Twitch
and then they
channel,
can't just
Twitch at Halftime with Harmon. You can, of course, subscribe to the show on Twitter at Yahoo Fantasy, Facebook Yahoo Sports Fantasy, on YouTube as well at the Yahoo Sports YouTube page. And we will jump in. We'll talk all your questions. We'll tell you what the hell is going on out there in the late games. We'll tell you what to expect from Sunday Night Football. And we'll probably have a special guest. Just wait and see. But that is going to do it. I'm Matt Harmon. You can follow me on Twitter at MattHarmon_BYB. And we are out of here.